All right, this is an official news announcement. I am totally confused as to what this box is because I wasn't expecting any deliveries this week coming to the workshop. And there's no return label on it, so I have no idea who sent it. I have no idea where it was sent from. So this is a totally mystery unboxing. So let's see what we find. I hope it's not ticking inside. If it is, this may be my last premiere. So keep your fingers crossed because I am clueless as to what the heck is in this box. Based on the weight, I can only assume a machine, but again, not expecting any this week. There's none that are slotted to come to the workshop this week. So here we go. Well, whoever sent this has good taste in boxes. It seems to be a pretty solid box. Well, I'm seeing a note on top, which hopefully will shed some light on what the heck this is and from who it is. Dear Scott, I heard about you through No Way. I heard about you through the Rolls-Royce dealership in Beverly Hills, California, where I have been a long-term customer. The enclosed machine belonged to my mom, who just passed away, and I thought you could make good use of it. Never been a sewer, but watched Mom spend hours at this machine, and it gave her so much joy, much like you do for people around the world through the joyful presentation of your videos. This sewing machine is a gift for you to do with as you see fit, and I know you will make good use of it. My mom's name was Eve, by the way. Keep bringing joy and laughter through your good work. Kindest personal regards, Charles. I'm sorry for kind of choking up, but this is so utterly unexpected. To get a note like this, to get a machine that shows up like this that belonged to this gentleman's mom, and the words that he wrote. Wow. Well, let's see what's inside. Well, I think Charles has watched my packing video, or whoever packed this for him did. Looks pretty doggone good, doesn't it? Oh my goodness. You recognize what it is? Oh, this is actually taped to the paint of the machine, which hopefully I'm able to get it off without causing too much damage. Can you see what this machine is now? I'm assuming it is the Rolls-Royce of Singer sewing machines. The Rolls-Royce of Singer sewing machines. Singer 201-2 that belonged to Eve, Charles' mom. And she looks like she's a beauty, doesn't she? Can't see all of her yet. Oh my goodness, this is so funny. Charles' mom must have had this in a table just like the machine that Tony just sent that had this very unusual foot controller. And this thing is taped to the machine as well. Does that look familiar at all? Oops, let me hold it like that. Well, now we know they made at least 2 of these, huh? No, I'm kidding. It's kind of like I talked about in the premiere when we did the unboxing of Tony's machines. I haven't had much exposure to these, but I know that these were very commonly at the factory installed in the tables with the machine. And they're not a knee controller, they're a foot controller. So you can see kind of how they work here. Not the most ideal thing. I'll probably replace it with a Bakelite, something a little bit more functional, but who knows? You know, they're pretty doggone cool. Pretty doggone cool. Well, I'm blown away. I'm utterly blown away. I thought it was going to turn out to be a machine that I just, you know, someone just sent it without notifying me. It has happened in the past. But to have it develop into something like this, it just kind of mind-blowing. Kind of mind-blowing. Oh, and this is also a Centennial 201-2. I'll kind of zoom in on it once I get all this tape off of the paint. It's kind of an interesting, almost looks like a harvest or a Halloween color orange thread there. Like something I would pick out probably. So, a Centennial 201-2 that belonged to Charles' mom, and I can only assume that they live out, or he obviously lives out in the Beverly Hills, California area now. And what an amazing note. Amazing note to find enclosed with this very special gift of this Centennial 201-2 that belonged to his mom, or as he wrote in here, his mum. So I don't know if Charles maybe, I know I've had contact with some folks from Australia, England, other parts of the world out that way, and they sometimes refer to their moms as mums. Incredible surprise. And I have an idea of what I might do with this machine. I have an idea. But let's first of all see if I can zoom in on this a little bit. And I'm going to lower this a little bit as well. And put on a little bit more music. Well, is anyone else blown away? I did not see that coming. As you could probably tell from my response. We just never know. We never know the impact that we can bring through the work that we're called to do we? We just never know. Must be some of the fabric that his mom had on the machine when she passed away. It sure sounds like she used this machine all the time. All right, let me rotate it and we'll look at the faceplate. I think I'm going to move that material too. I just kind of want to look underneath there too. Just give me a second, folks. Well, it's going to need a little bit of cleanup, obviously, a little bit of touch-up. But it will be gorgeous when I get done with it. Absolutely gorgeous. You can see a little bit of that tape pulled the gold leaf color off of the decal. The decal was perfect, and that tape pulled it off. I can touch that up. I think you recognize that last tune, didn't you? Invitation to the Castle. I played that with several premieres. I just think it's a fabulous song, just a fabulous song. So I think that this machine is a treasure, and I'm incredibly humbled by Charles sending this and the message that he wrote, and just the thought behind that. I mean, there's so many things. Let's just face it, folks. Let's just face it. Someone that's a regular customer at Rolls-Royce of Beverly Hills, they didn't need to take the time. Charles didn't need to take the time to have someone pack this up and to send it to some guy in Wisconsin, but he did. And he didn't have to take time to write that note and to express his sentiments about, the guy's not a sewer, but he saw the joy that sewing brought to his mom. And either through whatever the folks told him at the dealership there in Beverly Hills, or maybe he hopped onto the YouTube channel himself and just watched a couple of videos. But the words that he wrote about the joy that I bring to what I do, that means a lot. That means a lot, because that really is a goal. I started this channel with the idea that some guy from Wisconsin could bring humor and could bring fun and could bring goofiness and could bring spontaneity and joy to something as simple as sewing. Where, you know, as I was beginning to explore this space of sewing, I was on a number of other channels where you could quite honestly present those channels as a solution to people that had insomnia, and it would probably put them to sleep. And I thought to myself, if I'm going to do this, I am not going to be one of those in the lump that put people to sleep in presenting something like this that you can bring a lot of humor, a lot of fun to. And as Charles wrote in his note, this is a gift that he wanted to give me to do with as I saw fit. And I've given some thought to this during this premiere. And what I would like to do with this is I would like to re-gift it. I've been struggling since we hit 7,000 subscribers. I've really been struggling with what machine I wanted to offer, what machine I wanted to give away. In the past, I've really delighted in giving away 99Ks. I think they're one of the most fabulous machines that Singer ever came up with. And as I've highlighted in premieres, they have incredible attributes that tie them to featherweights from a standpoint of their size, their portability, just the overall compactness of the incredible machine. That's why I've given them away. But I've done that a couple of times. Then I gave the 185 K and J's away as well, which are fabulous machines. If you don't remember that, you can go back and search it. They're kind of those mint green machines, if you remember those. And I had a single winner, and then the other person that had gone head to head with the person that prevailed had done such a fabulous job with so much fervor and so much drive. Instead of giving one machine away, I gave away two. Well, in this giveaway, for hitting 7,000 subscribers, and soon we're going to be hitting 8,000 subscribers. Incredible, incredible. I think we're at like almost 7,500 right now. But this is going to be the giveaway machine. This Centennial Singer 201-2, I'm going to take it through my surgical process. I'm going to put it underneath the microscope. I'm going to give a lot of attention to giving a beautiful luster and a finish to this machine, especially where the tape was stuck to the paint. I'll do my best to clean that up as well. But apart from that, it's going to be a fabulously fully restored machine that someone is going to have the opportunity to win. And I've already given a lot of thought to what I want this contest to be. It's going to be a unique contest, just like the past ones. I think you remember the last contest was a musical contest, and I'll just kind of pan over that way. I played a variety of different musical tunes on this really cool music box. And Bill O'Rourke, my moderator and good friend from Florida, had kind of judged that contest. And based on what folks posted, no one won. And this contest I'd like to do a little bit different. But I want to, and I said this in one of the recent premieres, I want to involve Hans Christian from Norway, my moderator friend, and Bill O'Rourke, my moderator friend from Florida, in helping to judge this next contest. So you're saying, okay, Scott, we get it. Wow, crazy, incredible, thoughtful contest already. You just got this. You had no idea what it was. Incredible gift from this gentleman out in Beverly Hills, California, that belonged to his mom, Eve. And now you're re-gifting it. You're going to give it away. What do we need to do to potentially win this Rolls-Royce of Singer sewing machines that has an incredible story behind it now, because of the way it came about? And I can't speak with absolute certainty the provenance of this machine, but I can say with a fairly good, accurate guess, this is an original owner machine. This machine, in all likelihood, was bought by Charles' mom, Eve. That's my heart of hearts. That's my gut of gut. So you're looking at an original owner 201-2 Centennial model that was bought by this gentleman's mom. And now you're going to have a chance to add it to your collection, put it into your sewing room. It's going to become yours. So here's what you need to do. I've got to step over this. I got to show you. This is kind of has a little bit of heaviness to it. I got to step over this stuff to try to get what I want to get to show you an idea of what this contest is going to look like. All right, hang on for a second. And if you hear popping, it's me stepping on the bubble wrap. Okay. This is kind of what I was planning to do with the contest, but I totally am blown away because I, again, was struggling with what machine I was going to give away. Now I know. So here's what I'd like you to do. And I'm going to block Eve's machine just for a little bit. Going to put it like right here. Most of you that follow me faithfully on YouTube and on Facebook now would probably not be ashamed to describe yourself as a sewaholic. You probably wouldn't be reluctant to do it in the least. And so what I'd like to do, let me kind of scan around this first, and I'll try to post a picture of this as well. So I'm just going to kind of scan down one side. You can kind of read it as I go. I'll try to go slow, and you can always rewind it as well. These are some of the attributes of a sewaholic. Favorite coffee mug. I have one of those. And you can see on the bottom I have it imprinted with compliments of Scott at Cow Country to encourage the people at Joann Fabrics. I dropped a bunch of these off to them, and then I decided to print up more so that I could give them to folks as they come to the workshop and just have fun with it. Knee pads, I love it. Worn out slippers, I've had those. How about you? Material for next pattern, I love it. Pins. She looks like a hoot, doesn't she? I love sewing. Probably get stopped at an airport. That looks pretty sharp, doesn't it? All right, let me kind of zoom out a little bit. I'll try to stay, and again, I'll try to post this as well. And you may have noticed I have this up on the wall as well. My car's going to kind of be in the way of it, but that's a big version of what it is originally, and then I kind of shrunk it down a little bit. So here's the contest, okay? I'll come out on this shot here. What I would like you to do is I would like you to, if you're a sewer, whether you're a novice or whether you're an experienced quilter, or whether you've been sewing on a machine for 40, 50 years, you obviously have some creative spark. You obviously have a creative side to you, and I want you to tap into that for this contest. What I would like you to do is I would like you to write a brief essay. It has to be at least 100 words. And I want you to use your creative storytelling to tell a story about this lady depicted on this fun Sewaholic poster. I want you to talk about her. Maybe she's your next door neighbor. Maybe she's an aunt of yours. Maybe she was your grandmother. Maybe she's just some random lady you met at a fabric store. And I want you to talk about her story. I want you to tell maybe some funny things about her. And I want you to name her. I want her to have a name and to talk about her life story. You know, depending on how you spin this, maybe she's your next door neighbor. Maybe she, again, is a lady you just met. Maybe she's a family member. Maybe she's you. And I want you to name this individual and then creatively write a story, at least 100 words. And 100 words is not much, by the way. It's like a paragraph, a bigger paragraph. And after you get done writing this fun story and you name this individual and you talk about her and maybe point to some of the things on the poster, that are descriptive of her already. I then want you to post it on Facebook in conjunction with this premiere announcement. We've done this in the past. It's nothing new. It needs to be posted on Facebook in conjunction with this premiere announcement. And then what I want you to do is I want you to reach out to all of your friends, family, anyone you can make contact with, and have them come to your post and like it. And we've done this before as well. Matter of fact, when I gave away that 185J and 185K, these ladies that were involved with that contest just went hog wild, and I think they each had over 100 people that liked their post. And I'm not saying it has to be 100, but wouldn't that be cool to hit 100, considering this is a centennial Singer 201-2, the 100th anniversary of the Singer Sewing Machine Company. So I'm not making that a requirement, but I think that would be the cat's meow if you could rally enough troops to bring them to your post to like it, so that you could hit 100 or more. But again, that's not a requirement. The only requirement is that you write a creative post about who this individual is, talk about their story, their life story, their history, give them a name, and it has to be at least 100 words. Okay? Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to call upon Hans Christian from Norway, my moderator, and Bill O'Rourke, my moderator from Florida, and ask these men if they would help to judge the creative aspect of what folks have written in coming up with a story, a fun story, a clever story, a humorous story, maybe a sad story about this lady, and maybe she passed away. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know what your story's going to be. But I'm going to ask these men if they'll chime in and then circle back to me and let me know who they feel did the best job. Again, this contest is not going to be based, let me say it again, this contest is not going to be based off of the number of likes that you get for your post. That could weigh into the equation, but that's not going to be the final deciding factor. The creative aspect of what you write, the story that you put together to talk about this individual, who knows, maybe the name that you give her is going to weigh into it as well. So let me tell you this. This contest begins immediately as soon as this live premiere has been aired. And then it's going to run until, I want to give you folks some time. And even though I know a lot of you are kind of staying at home, and you've got extra time on your hands, I want to give you a little bit of time to do this. So why don't we say this? Why don't we say the contest ends on May 15th? May 15th at midnight. May 15th at midnight. And midnight would be Central Standard Time. So if, depending on where you're located, just make that assumption that it's going to be based on where the workshop is located in Wisconsin, which is Central Standard Time. And again, the only requirements I'm attaching to this is that you need to write a creative story about who this lady is, give her a name, and that whatever you write, there has to be at least 100 words. And again, I chose 100 words not to be mean, but because I wanted to at least in some way tie it back to this machine that we just saw revealed, that Charles sent to the workshop that belonged to his mom, Eve, and the fact that it's a centennial machine, which is the 100th anniversary of the Singer Sewing Machine Company. So kind of on the spot, I came up with that requirement, just so that it would tie into this incredible machine that was given to me as a gift, and now I'm going to re-gift it to whoever potentially wins this contest. And unlike the last contest where Bill, with his 50 plus years of musical expertise and experience, was able to evaluate the posts very, very specifically and determine that there was not a winner, I think it's in all likelihood we're going to have a winner this time. We're absolutely going to have a winner as long as they meet the requirements of giving this individual a name, writing something that would be, you know, kind of fun and creative, and that there's at least 100 words in their post, 100 words in their post. If they meet those basic requirements, then Bill and Hans have a benchmark to determine who the winner is. Okay? So again, the contest starts as soon as you see this live premiere aired, and it ends on the 15th of May at midnight. So I'm hoping we have a big response. I'm hoping folks really jump into this, because not only is it a Rolls-Royce of Singer sewing machines, not only is it a 201-2, not only am I going to go through it and fully restore it, but what an incredible backstory with the way that it found its way to the workshop, huh? What an incredible story. So I'm going to zoom in again on this poster. Again, my goal will be to take a picture of this poster and post it, so you'll be able to use it as a reference. Otherwise, just refer back to this premiere, and you can look again kind of at what comprises the description already of this Sewaholic, and you can use that as maybe as some of the guidance for what you decide to write. Hopefully that makes sense. I'll be honest with you, I have a name for it, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. So let me move this poster to wrap up this premiere, so you can see again what the prize is. You can see that this 201-2, again, if you've seen other machines that I've had the opportunity to restore, you can expect that as far as this machine when it arrives at your house, if you in fact are the winner. And even as it stands right now, it's drop dead gorgeous. And I probably will upgrade that foot controller, just because I think it'll be a lot easier to operate it with a Bakelite foot controller instead of this controller that was designed to be mounted in a table. So you know, just anticipate that the foot controller that is going to go with this Centennial Singer 201-2, when it goes to that winner, number one, it's going to be fully restored mechanically, electrically, and I'll also do a lot of work on the paint as well to really give it that wow factor, along with touching up some of the spots that lost a little bit of paint over time, and maybe because of the tape on there as well. But it's going to be museum quality. It's going to be absolutely drop dead gorgeous. So just anticipate that, and so get busy. I think this is a real fun contest to do for hitting 7,000 subscribers, and because of the magnitude of this gift, and the fact that I received it as a very generous, thoughtful gift from Charles. In the past, I've asked that winner to help pay for the cost of shipping the sewing machine. I'm going to give that as a gift to you, since this machine was given to me as a gift. So whoever wins this, whoever Hans, Bill, and myself determine is the ultimate winner of this contest, they'll receive this delivered to their doorstep without putting a penny into the equation, free of charge, an absolute gift for winning the contest. How cool is that? Now, I will do this as far as covering the cost of shipping for folks that are within the immediate U.S. If you happen to live in Guam, if you happen to live out by Dan in Hawaii, if you happen to live somewhere else that would be considered a remote part of the U.S., extreme remote. We're not talking East Coast, West Coast. I'll cover that. But if you happen to live in a remote part of the U.S., maybe also some remote parts of Alaska would tie into the equation as well. Once I evaluate that shipping, then I might reach out to you. But otherwise, if you live anywhere else in the U.S., it's a free delivery. Now, if you're an international viewer, which we have many of, and you say, you know what, I want to jump into this contest, then that shipping cost will fall on you as far as an expense in getting this free Centennial 201-2. And it's simply because it's so much more expensive to ship internationally. But at the same time, there's different global ways of shipping that if you find a real smart way to do it and you can cue me to that, and we can save you some money if you're an international contest winner for this, I'm more than willing to consider that and follow those guidelines to make it more affordable. But I'll tell you this, I've gotten machines shipped and also shipped to places like the UK, to Australia, and it's not as outrageous as you would consider. Shipping a machine like this, for example, to the UK, you could do it for about $150, honestly. So to get a machine like this, and I'm going to do a full restoration on, for even say $150 if you're an international contest winner. Again, if you're within the US, unless you're really remote, like potentially some parts of Alaska or Hawaii or Guam or who knows where, you know what I'm saying, you're still gonna I mean, you're gonna get an incredible contest gift. So all right, blah 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 blah. So all I can say is I'm blown away. I started this out with the idea of it being a basic mystery unboxing. I find this box on the front steps of the workshop and I'm like, wait a second, I'm not expecting a machine. I'm not anticipating a machine this week. Where the heck is this from? And so I'm looking at the top of the box and there's no return address. There's no label saying where the machine is from. Who sent it? So that was the direction I was going, and then all of a sudden, as you saw at the beginning of this premiere, we opened the box and there's this letter enclosed from this gentleman, Charles, from out in California, who tells us that this machine was his mom's. And he's giving it to me, and he's giving it, and he's basically saying, Scott, I'm not a sewer. I don't do it, man. But I saw the joy that it brought to my mom, and I know the joy that you bring to folks around the world through what you do, through your work. And now, how appropriate, think about it, how appropriate now I can extend that joy in a different way through this contest to those that would love to own a machine like this. So are you game? Are you throwing your hat into the ring? Are you going to go for it? And I'm going to really open this up. I want you to listen very carefully. Even if you've won a machine from me in the past through a contest, in other words, if you won a 99K, if you won one of those 185 series machines, the 185J, 185K, I think those are the only 3 machines I've given away because the other contests there were no winners. So if you won that 99K, if you won that 185J, 185K, unless I'm totally going brain dead and I forgot about another machine I gave away, you could throw your hat into the ring on this one as well. How does that sound? So I want to encourage you to go for it. I want to encourage you to dig deep and to come up with a creative, fun story about this goofy lady that proudly declares she's a sewaholic. She proudly declares that she loves sewing. She loves it. And now, especially amid this coronavirus, this pandemic, how many more, as they've been stuck at home, how many more have discovered or rediscovered their love of sewing? How many more who were occasional sewers now, since they're stuck at home, and maybe even the mixed blessing of being laid off from work, have now discovered in their heart of hearts that they're a sewaholic, and maybe they even started a business amid this pandemic and this coronavirus craze. And now they're making things at home, maybe leather goods, maybe quilting, who knows what it is. And now they're shipping these things out, and that's their livelihood. So not only have they discovered or rediscovered that they're a sewaholic, but now they've also discovered that it can sustain them and give them a brand new road that they can travel that brings them joy, that brings them the opportunity to use skills that maybe they didn't even know they had. And more importantly, gives them the opportunity to bring joy to others through the work that they did with their hands. So, once again, the contest is to come up with a creative story about this lady. Has to be a minimum of 100 words. And again, I came up with that off the cuff during this premiere as I discovered that this was the Centennial 201-2 that Charles sent to me as a gift. So at least 100 words. Make it as creative and funny and engaging as you possibly can. Or make it a story that will cause people to well up with tears as they hear about the incredible life and legacy of this lady. And the other requirement is you need to give her a name. You gotta give her a name. Give her a name, write something creative, a minimum of 100 words, and have fun with it. Please, have fun with it. All right. Well, what an unexpected turn of events, huh? What an unexpected turn of events. And I guess that's the way life is, isn't it? Well, God bless you. The contest begins now. Have fun. And by the way, Charles, if you're watching this, thank you. And I hope I hope in some way my spontaneous decision to do this contest honors the memory of your mom, Eve. That's my goal. God bless.